What is up, chat? We have a bit of a different stream coming at you today because it's actually the first episode of the Cousin Brothers podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Caleb.
We have a really long, just god-awful stream for y'all today. We're going to be talking about the first week of Donald.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. We have some notes, we have some articles, we have some overall ideas of what we want to talk about.
That's true.
Fuck. I mean, do we just start with the DEI and the executive orders?
Okay. Let's start with Elon. Let's start with Elon first.
Okay, let me pull that up. Elon AFD ties.
Yeah.
Elon in general is a wild
It's a lot.
enigma. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
So actually last night Elon spoke at a AFD campaign launch.
Yes.
I don't even, dude.
I don't even know where to start.
It's kind of disgusting. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the video up. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
When your business is on the path,
No, capitalism.
AI factory with NVIDIA can quickly implement the AI you need, help keep your data secure, and give you the flexibility to keep moving forward.
I do not say it lightly when I think the future of civilization could hang on this election. So when something is so important, you really need to say, okay, you got to go all out to convince people to vote for AfD.
The far-right alternative for Germany, AfD, kicked off its election campaign here in the eastern German town of Halle an der Saale with a flurry of speeches, including by the party leader Alice Weidel. And they're hoping to get their campaign supercharged with the help of U.S. billionaire Elon Musk. He did make a surprise appearance here at the party conference via video link, where he said that he continues to support the AfD. He called for less migration in Germany. He also called for Germany to close its borders and to do more for German citizens, things that we've heard from Elon Musk in the past. Now, the head of the AfD, Alice Weidel, she thanked Elon Musk for his support. Of course, the two are known to be quite close. They have done a video link with one another before. She also wished Donald Trump and his vice president, J.D. Vance, all the best. And one of the things that we can see is that many of the positions of the Trump administration are also positions that the AfD has as well. For instance, they say they want to close Germany's borders. They say they want to deport more people from Germany as well. Now, we know that other politicians in Germany, including from the German government, have called what Elon Musk is doing by supporting the AfD, meddling in the German election process. A lot of them have vowed not to work with the AfD. However, the AfD itself right now is riding high in the polls, and after the election coming up in February, could be one of the strongest political forces here in this country. Vergleichen, CNN, Halle an der Saale, Germany.
So here's my biggest concern with this right here. The AfD, for people who don't know or aren't aware quite yet, the AfD is the alt-right party. Think of it kind of like the MAGA party. But from my understanding, the history of the AfD has deep ties to Nazism.
Yeah, and actually, they didn't include that in the thing. But Elon specifically called for Germany to move past Nazi guilt.
Yes, I found that quite troubling that wasn't included in the video, because that's what I really wanted to point on. He said something very intriguing to me, and I think I can go bar for bar on this. He said, children should not feel the sins of their parents, that they should feel German pride.
Very ironic, coming from a man whose father owned slaves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, Republicans are super good at this, and I'm gonna move past that. The right is super good at de-weaponizing civil issues, but the fact that the right is now meddling in international affairs while also saying that we should only focus on ourselves is very, very ironic.
Yeah. I don't
And
know,
they've gotten
man.
very good at it.
I mean, look, say what you will about Elon Musk and his little Romanian salute.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't have him pull that one out in Germany. I was kind of impressed.
Yeah, no, and look,
kind of like a cameo.
well, actually,
you know
fun fact: that clip is banned in Germany. They can't play that clip on
that is
news, for a good reason. But like, this came out after that, where like Errol Musk, who's Elon Musk's dad, came out and said like, oh yeah, no, his maternal grandparents were fans of Hitler. They were part of the Nazi party in Canada, and also they moved to South Africa because they liked the apartheid.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, like,
look, and like the Elon meat writers, they're gonna do whatever they can to make sure that good old Daddy Musk looks as good as possible, or to help them feel better about supporting a man that's just absolutely riddled and grew up in probably the worst racist ties possible. I mean, you have
Yes.
it all. You have Nazism, you have the apartheid, you have slavery, you have like everything that this man says that he is against in any way, shape, or form, he proves to not be against on a regular basis.
Yeah. I mean, and look, first of all, this man tweets too much. But secondly, look at any tweet he's made. And you can kind of tell, like, there's no way he didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah.
Let me find this.
There's a little bit of a failed art student in there. You know what I'm saying?
Fail is a word I would use. Let me see if I can find this tweet.
It's so disappointing. Little background on myself. I grew up in a very Republican household, and until I was about 16 or 17, I was a right grifter. I watched all of the big guys. I watched Steven Crowder. I watched Ben Shabibo for all of the Hasanabi heads. Like, I was a big Elon fan. I thought he was the GOAT. I thought that he was doing great things in the name of science and engineering, because I wanted to be an engineer, and I was like, yeah, that's the guy to follow. As I like entered school and started doing my own thing and like paying attention to what he actually says, holy shit, he hasn't been hiding it at all.
No. I mean, he doesn't need to.
No, of course not.
But I mean, yeah, I don't know, man. It's just it's gotten to a point with Elon where it's just like, how do you not know? Like, how can you not tell that this is happening? Like, I can understand, like, up until this past election cycle, like, there was some plausible deniability in all of it. But it's gotten to the point with right-wing grift where it's just like, it's more than apparent as to what's happening right now.
Right.
And it's a little sad. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little sad because we've gotten to this point where it's so obvious and so apparent to anyone but the people who are constantly getting fooled by this shit over and over and over on a daily basis.
Yeah. I just pulled up a couple of Elon AFD tweets. Only the AFD can save Germany. We've heard that before. This one's from last year, around the same time, actually. Why is there such a negative reaction from some about AFD? They keep saying far right, but the policies of AFD that I've read about don't sound extremist. Maybe I'm missing something.
And here's the thing.
This bit.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
He does this bit a lot where he's just like, Well, the thing
Allison?
that I read doesn't sound that bad, so clearly it's not that bad, you know? Like, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm, like the sheep here. Maybe I just don't understand. I
Yeah.
hate that bit, dude. You are the wealthiest man on the planet. Yeah, you're missing a lot.
Yeah, man. I mean, although Elon Musk didn't mention Nazism explicitly, his speech was heard by a lot of people as addressing the collective guilt by many German people following Nazi atrocities perpetrated during World War II.
Yeah.
Especially the Holocaust.
Yeah.
I mean, and
absolutely.
look, if you think that Elon Musk is not in some way, shape, or form a Nazi, Benjamin Netanyahu is backing this guy up. Benjamin Netanyahu, famous for being a Holocaust revisionist.
Yeah, which a lot of people that are going to see this clip or see this stream or maybe even watch the podcast, they're going to go, but wait a minute. That's the guy that's in charge of the Jews, right? That's the Jewish president. Brother, pay attention. Open your eyes.
He
They have
literally
been
said
revising
that
for years.
he literally said that Hitler didn't want to kill the Jews. Actually, that was the Grand Mufta of Palestine. He convinced Hitler to kill the Jews.
Yeah.
Hitler just
Famous
wanted to put all the
genocide
Jews
word,
somewhere else, which is also still the definition of genocide, by the way.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Something that the AFD is copycatting from MAGA that I just want to touch on really well is that they are just vilifying immigrants to a alarming degree. This is from December 21st, last month. Germany, woman convicted of offending migrant gang rapist receives longer prison sentence than the rapists. And then Elon goes on to tweet, the traditional political parties in Germany have utterly failed the people. AFD is the only hope for Germany.
Yep, pretty much.
How often do we see that here in the States? Just about every day.
You think it's only every day?
I feel like he is just going, you know what propaganda works here in the States that will work everywhere else that I want power?
Well, that's what the Nazis were. They were anti-immigration. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man.
But I mean, he has thousands of tweets. Just AFD is the only hope for Germany. Only AFD can save Germany. The AFD policies are identical to those in the U.S. Democratic Party. When Obama
Which
took
they're not.
office,
They're not. They're not.
That is
Let's be clear.
Fallacy. I'm sorry.
Let's be clear. They're not. First of all, and secondly, even if they were, that doesn't mean that's good.
Right. Yeah. Famously, Obama, one of the largest war criminals of the modern era. No hate to Obama. Obama's the GOAT.
Dude,
but like,
no one could come up to dude. No one could step to my boy Bush.
Yeah, no. Bush was doing numbers. He was thinking about that MLB the entire time.
Amen.
All right. So do we want to move to executive orders now?
Fucking I guess, man. There's a lot of them. There's a lot. This is
gonna be the bulk of the chat. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
All right. Do we start with DEI?
We can start with DEI, man. Let's just start with DEI.
Oh boy. I'm gonna just read this first paragraph or two from the Time article. When President Donald Trump returned to the White House, one of his first actions as the nation's leader included beginning to dismantle and disrupt diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts at the federal level. The same day he took office, January 20th, Trump signed an executive order titled Ending Radical and Wasteful Government DEI Programs and Preferencing. He then directed that all federal DEI staff be placed on paid leave and eventually laid off.
Yep.
Wow. What? Dude. Just to touch on this a little bit, the order that he got rid of is from the 60s.
1965, I believe, was Lyndon B. Johnson.
Yeah.
Yep, 1965 Civil Rights Act.
Yep.
Which, to be clear, let's be clear. The Civil Rights Act was bad in that it wasn't enough. It wasn't bad in the fact that that it's woke. Dude, imagine people calling LBJ woke in the 60s. That'd have been really funny, actually.
Honestly, dude, what a time. What a time.
That'd have been sick.
Oh, dude, just pluck Elon to the 60s real quick.
Let's see how he does as a
South African. Yeah, as an African American. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's look. Here's and a lot of people were saying that Elon, like, this was becoming a thing really close to the election. People were saying Elon Musk should have been the Speaker of the House, which that would have made me vomit.
Yeah, that would have been atrocious.
He can't even run a company, and now we're letting him run the fucking country.
Oh, but Caleb, he runs so many companies, and he does so well.
Yeah, and he does them all so poorly. It's so... He bought Twitter just so he could run Twitter, and then he's like, no, and then just hired somebody else to do it.
Oh, speaking of, I just want to touch on the... God, I fucking hate this man.
Yep.
Elon, the 23rd, the recommendation algorithm on this platform sucks, talking about him only seeing his Nazi salute.
Yeah.
I want to talk to the manager right now. You're not funny. I just wanted to wanted to touch on that real quick. Anyways,
back to DEI. Yeah, man, look. Am I surprised? No. Am I disappointed? A little bit.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm surprised, but only in the aspect that he acted so swiftly.
No, I knew he would. I knew he would. I knew it was gonna be day one. Because now that we are getting rid of these DEI protections, now we are able to go back to hiring specifically white men and paying them significantly more than anyone else we hire. Which is good for capitalism.
Right, yes, of course.
It all always goes back to capitalistic greed. Every time.
Yep. Absolutely. And that's the most arguments I have with people that talk about things like that. They think that people aren't prejudiced still, and that these guidelines don't need to be in place anymore because there are no more prejudice against women or people of color or LGBTQ.
Right, because even though I hate them, that doesn't mean everyone else hates them.
Right, absolutely. Or I had a coworker recently point out, well, there's companies that only hire gay people, so it's only fair. First of all, I want to see this company because get me on. You know what I'm saying?
It's Grindr.
Yeah. Oh,
no,
man.
like it's just one of those things where it's like, look, when companies specifically hire people from a marginalized community, it's because that's what it's for. That's who the company's for. It's like, a black-owned company that makes products specifically for like black people hair, black people sunscreen, shit like that. So when it's, stuff like that, we don't really need a white guy in here to do anything. He's not going to know anything about it. Like, maybe we can have him run the books. But and then we're now that we're starting to repeal the I think we're going to slowly start degrading like what qualifies as white people again. Like, we're going to go back to calling the Germans too swarthy.
Oh,
thank you, Ben Franklin. Like, we're going to get back to that shit.
And it's really terrifying how rapidly it's happening because I'm reminded of all the history classes I took for my degree. It's like, well, how the question was always, how did Germany let this happen? You're
We
watching
let
it
them.
right now. We're literally watching it right now, and it's never been more true than the last 7 days.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, and I'm at a tough point, right? Because I'm a straight white guy, so it's like for me, this doesn't mean a lot. But also, yes, this is bad, and yes, it's an existential threat to the American people. But I'm also a little too optimistic in the fact that I think people won't let it get too far. I have hope for the American public, whether that's going to be true or not. I think a lot of people will let this happen. I think a lot of people are like want this to happen, which is not good. It's not a good thing. But I do have some hope that maybe, just maybe, the world won't end completely.
I turned my fucking thing off, my bad.
Yeah, no, I know.
What a win. What a win.
So, I don't know. Like, I think there's reason to be concerned. I think it's good for you to be concerned. But I also think that everything going on should not stop you from still advocating for your best life and living your best life. Like, don't let all this bullshit stop you from living.
Yeah, and I can understand that. I'm unfortunately, I'm a very optimistic person at heart. However, I don't know how many more days, much less years, I can say we won't let it get much further.
I think there's hope for the American people. Because I think that now that these policies are in place, I think they're going to start coming to terms with what this all really means.
Yeah. My biggest concern that I'm gonna just briefly touch on is the MAGA hats that voted for him, despite all of the Project 2025, denials. He wouldn't do that. He wasn't even included in writing it or whatever.
And now he's doing it.
And they're just like, well, no, like he's still missing this part, so he's not doing the whole thing, right? Well, I mean, dude, it's the first 7 days, like,
and he keeps doing more.
Yeah, like this last 4 years, y'all know that, right? Like he has 4 years to like absolutely fuck shit up. And he's done so much in the last 7 days, if not even.
Yeah, he dropped like 32 executive orders day one.
Yeah.
And he wasn't even sworn in until noon.
Yeah.
And it was all of the ones that people were like hoping for. It was none of the ones people were hoping for, and all of the ones look. Here's the thing. He's doing what he said he was gonna do.
Yeah.
You can't say like this is all a shock. He said he was gonna do all of this. He said it. And if you don't think that that's the case, you weren't paying attention.
Yep. I'm reminded of that the video of him day one signing those executive orders, and all of his cronies are just handing him the papers, and him going, "What's this one?"
Oh, okay,
yeah. Of course, it's so important. I think another reason why I'm not as hopeful as I usually am is because of the TikTok executive order. And how quick young people were to just go, oh, all right, cool.
Yeah.
I know it's not the majority, but it's one more person than it should have been. Does that make sense?
Yes. And by one, we mean a lot.
Yeah.
By 1 million.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I mean that's alarming to me.
Yes.
Just something briefly to talk about, and this is more of like a keep your eye out for this type of situation. Target has already pulled out of DEI programming. Um, as of right now, we don't know what that means. It means maybe they go to exclusively hiring, like as a protest, non-white people, which would be a huge protest. But it's not seeming that way.
No.
It's one of those hopeful things. Maybe it's a protest. I know it's not though.
The thing about it is, Target actually surprised me a little bit.
Yeah, and we touched on that off screen a little bit. It's so surprising because they're the woke brand.
Yeah, like Target like Walmart, not shocking. Amazon, not shocking. But like Target specifically,
Yeah,
kind of surprising.
That's why this made headlines, because they are the woke brand. They are the ones that have the riots inside of their buildings for Pride product, and Black Pride products, and quote unquote whitewashing books. This is the company I least expected to see, especially within the first week of like, oh yeah, Trump said don't do it anymore. Splendid.
We're gonna do that.
Yeah. That was just a brief. I didn't want to I don't want to harp on that, but that's just kind of like a keep an eye out for your favorite brands. If they pull out as soon as somebody says jump, shop local.
Yep. But like pick the ones you shop local.
Yeah. I mean, we live in Texas, so shopping local is a little bit hard, but we also live in Houston, so it's not like we live in the middle of Kentucky and are leftists trying to find like a farmer's market,
Yeah, we'll do okay.
I'm
gonna DM you a link for the next thing we're gonna need.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, man, but like there are some companies that are sticking by it.
Yeah, and absolutely, and kudos to them.
Yep. Let me see if I can find a list here. The ones that are definitely backing away is.
Did you put it in the doc?
No, I can put it in the doc. Yeah, that's actually a better idea. There you go. So like companies that are running away for sure are pretty obvious. See if I can find this. Okay. Major companies dropping DEI. Let's see. Target, which was shocking. Dude, this is the worst article. God, I fucking hate. Target, Meta, which is not surprising. Amazon, which is not surprising. McDonald's, which is not surprising. Walmart, which is not surprising. Ford, which is very not surprising. Lowe's, which is also not surprising. There's a reason to shop at the Home Depot. Harley Davidson, dude, I'm surprised they had DEI policies.
Amen, brother. You mean this hog?
Brown
you mean
Foreman,
I can't drive this hog?
John Deere is one.
Yeah.
Tractor Supply, unfortunately.
See, I'm gonna backpedal a little bit. John Deere is a little surprising to me. If you think about the farmers of America, and you think about the people who are the backbone of society, according to the right, the backbone of society are the hardworking everyday people, especially farmers who feed our families. And you think about John Deere, one of the leading tractor companies in America. Really?
So
pulling out a DEI is kind of crazy.
So what John Deere actually said was like, it's no longer going to sponsor social or cultural awareness events, which is like not that crazy.
I don't really feel like companies do anything crazy with that either. I work with a diversity company. I don't I'm part of the Pride organization. We never meet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then like and then it's gonna audit all of its training materials to ensure the absence of like socially motivated messages. But then, John Deere specifically said, like, the existence of diversity quotas and pronoun identification has never been and is not company policy, but they're still going to track in advance the diversity of the company. So they're not really pulling out of DEI. They're just doing a couple of things which like don't even matter, if we're being honest.
Yeah, I've never worked for a company that was extremely right-leaning anyways, that had like a pride or diversity program that actually did anything for the employees. Like I used to work at Cabela's and we had like a pride initiative. None of those motherfuckers there gave a fuck about that.
Yeah. Yeah, but like McDonald's is going crazy. Like they're retiring goals for diversity at senior levels. They're ending a program that encourages its suppliers to develop diversity training and to increase the number of minority groups members represented within their own leadership ranks. They're also pausing like external surveys, which is crazy.
Oh, really?
Several other companies have already suspended their participation in an annual survey by the Human Rights Campaign and measures like workplace inclusion for LGBT. But they're saying they're still dedicated to inclusion. That they believe having a diverse workforce is a competitive advantage. But like,
see, that's a crock of horse shite, as my papa would say.
yeah. But and like it was really funny because like they cited a Supreme Court decision citing affirmative action for college applications as like their reasoning.
Gotcha.
But there are some companies that are sticking by this. So go to these places. Costco, Goldman Sachs,
yep.
JP Morgan is one.
Which is crazy the banks are doing it, by the way.
And dude, it's gonna get crazier. Cause it's like I know American Airlines, Delta, Southwest, United, they're all like doubling down. So
That's
you
right,
can still fly. That's good for you. Take a train though.
Amen. We were so close to having trains. I'm so
dude.
pissed.
I will take a Trump branded train if that means we can have high speed rail in the United States.
Dude, honestly, I would not stop singing his praises if he actually installed proper public transportation in this country.
I would.
Well, I mean, to an extent. I can't be bought, but I can be
persuaded.
I can be bribed for about 30 days, you know?
Yeah. That's pretty much the end of the DEI stuff I have.
All right.
We hit the major ones.
Cool. All right. The Reuters article, the U.S. judge temporarily blocks Trump's order restricting birthright citizenship. Is that what you wanted to talk about next?
There's one. Okay. Everyone gets one. Donald Trump did make a good executive order. Everyone gets one.
Mm-hmm.
He has moved for the declassification and release of the files surrounding the JFK assassination, the RFK assassination, and the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He gets one. He gets one good one.
And here is why this is a really good. Okay, it's really good that you brought that up because I disagree.
Really? Tell me more.
I disagree. Because it is just it's the same thing that Congress does with the aliens once a year.
Yeah.
And I'm not buying it this time. I'm sorry.
I'm not letting it distract me from the greater issue at hand, but I do want to see what the government has on this.
Look, everybody does. And everybody has for a long time. This was just the shittiest, worst time to do it. And I think there's a tweet from JFK's grandson or great grandson or whichever. He came out and was like, "We didn't want you to do this. He died, and he died more than it's almost been like what's 60, 70 years, 80 years.
Almost been 60.
So he's just like, this, you could have done this decades ago, and it would have been like, holy shit, we can trust our government. Not right now. I'm not giving it to him just because. Yeah, I'm gonna read it, but did you see it's 15,000, or it's more than that? It's like 15 something. It's like 15,000 plus pages.
Oh yeah. No, I'm gonna read it. I'll give him this one. It's not gonna count for much.
That I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
I'll give him this. Not gonna count for much.
But it's not gonna count for much. Yeah.
It's not gonna count for much, but I will respect that.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I'll give you that. Do we want to watch the video that's attached to this?
I haven't watched it, so I don't know.
All right. Well,
but that I just grabbed the Reuters article because it has the specific quotes from Judge Coffiner, I think is how you pronounce his name.
Okay. So this is U.S. judge temporarily blocks Trump's order restricting birthright citizenship. We're gonna go ahead and load the video. It's loading.
One word to describe SGU would be.
Anyways.
I don't know. Your stream might be broken. I'll pull it up. I have it pulled up. Just on Discord.
No. My stream on my end is fine.
No, the Discord stream.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it still shows the target DEI thing.
A federal judge in Seattle on Thursday blocked President Donald Trump's administration from implementing an executive order curtailing the right to automatic birthright citizenship in the United States, calling it, quote, blatantly unconstitutional. The judge issued a temporary restraining order at the urging of 4 Democratic-led states, including Washington, where Nick Brown is the Attorney General.
This is about people who the President of the United States was trying to deny their lawful right to be citizens. And babies are being born today, tomorrow, every day, all across this country. And so we had to act now to provide back to the status quo, back what has been the law of the land for generations, that you are an American citizen if you were born on American soil, period. Nothing that the president can do will change that.
Trump, in his executive order, directed U.S. agencies to refuse to recognize the citizenship of children born in the United States if neither their mother nor father is a U.S. citizen or legal permanent resident. The judge said this viewpoint, quote, boggles the mind. The states argued that Trump's order violated the rights enshrined in the Citizenship Clause of the U.S. Constitution's 14th Amendment that provides that anyone born in the United States is a citizen. More than 150,000 newborn children would be denied citizenship annually if Trump's order is allowed to stand, according to the Democratic-led states. Several other lawsuits are also pending nationwide by civil rights groups and Democratic attorneys general from 22 states, who called Trump's order a flagrant violation of the U.S. Constitution. 36 of Trump's Republican allies in the U.S. House of Representatives on Tuesday separately introduced legislation to restrict automatic citizenship to only children born to citizens or lawful permanent residents.
Yeah.
I agree with the judge to an absurd degree. It boggles the mind.
Do you want the full quote from the judge?
Is it in here?
It might be. The judge said, I've been on the bench for over 4 decades. I can't remember another case where the question presented is as clear as this one. This is a blatantly unconstitutional order.
Yeah, I found it right as you started reading it. I found it. Yeah.
So, for reference, and it's not like this is a Democrat, like, woke judge. Guess what president appointed this federal judge? Ronald Reagan. This is a Reagan-appointed federal judge. And he's like,
the godfather
what the fuck
of
are you doing?
republicanism.
He's like, what the fuck are you doing, man?
Yeah. To call birthright citizenship unconstitutional is to call America unconstitutional.
That's right.
That is blatantly the craziest shit. Honestly, out of all of the things that he signed, this was the most baffling.
I have not talked to a single person that's like, yeah, this is smart. No one I've talked to is like on this side at all. Everyone's just like, what the fuck is he on about?
because it came completely out of left field.
You say that? I don't think it did.
I'm not saying like for him. I'm just saying for an American citizen, this is just wild.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised. Like, it's like coming out of this administration, not surprised at all. At all.
Like I said, there's not a lot of things that are surprising. It's just shocking. And it's shocking with the swiftness that he is enacting these things.
So, but the Trump would like kind of went hard on the DOJ, like the Justice Department attorneys. He said, "There's a blatantly unconstitutional order. There are other times in world history where we look back and people of goodwill can say, where were the judges? Where were the lawyers?" And Kaufner then interrupted the Justice Department attorney before he could finish his sentence. And so the judge asked, "In your opinion, is this executive order constitutional?" Justice Department attorney said, "It absolutely is." And then the judge says, "Frankly, I have difficulty understanding how a member of the bar could state unequivocally that this is a constitutional order. It just boggles my mind."
Yeah.
And yeah.
It does. And you know what it's giving? It's giving it's kind of a niche reference between me and Caleb, but it's giving Suits.
Yeah.
You didn't go to school, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You had somebody take your test for you, didn't you?
Had to have. Let's see when this guy became a member of the bar. He doesn't even work for the... Oh, yeah, he does. There's he's a contributor to the Federalist Society, so that should tell you.
Oh dear God! You know what? I should have found the TikTok of the lady that I sent you earlier.
I'm looking at his LinkedIn to see if it says when you passed the bar. 2006. From Wake Forest Law School. That's crazy. Anyways.
So, when you type in birthright citizenship, the first things that come up, just for reference, because this is strictly an elitist policy. There's no good-hearted American, Republican or Democrat.
This is not elitist. This is white nativist, is what it is.
Which are one and the same. Let's be real here, brother.
Yes, but no.
All right. Well, Graham says a good chance Supreme Court sides with Trump on birthright citizenship. The second one to pop up is Mark Levin explains why there isn't constitutional basis for universal birthright citizenship. Those are two people I don't want talking about anything ever at all anyways.
Yeah.
I had a really good talking point for this and it escapes me right now. But it's how far back are we removing? Somebody brought up the point. How far back are you removing birthright citizenship? Because there's some people here that are red-blooded Americans, but they're only second-generation Americans, or they're only third-generation Americans. And I know that's not the proposal. I know that's not the proposal, but if he's willing to go so far as to new babies born right now not being birthright citizens, what does that mean for a 9-month-old? What does that mean for a year-old? What does that mean for a 30-year-old? Is what I'm getting at.
The order is written to say any babies born anytime after 30 days after the order goes into effect. But that doesn't matter because then you'll have precedent.
Yeah. I actually have the actual order pulled up here. It's protecting the meaning and value of American citizenship, which is extremely alarming wording, by the way. Are we serious right now?
Yeah.
The alarm bells are ringing so loud.
Unfortunately, we are serious. Unfortunately, we're being so serious right now.
By the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, it is hereby ordered, Section 1, purpose. The privilege of the United States citizenship is a priceless and profound gift. The 14th Amendment states all persons born or nationalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and the state wherein they reside. The 14th Amendment, you read it right there, you dumb bitch.
1868, by the way.
This isn't some woke bullshit that was just signed in by Obama or Carter or even like Truman or something. This has been the standing law for almost 200 years? In 25 years it'll be almost 200 years.
In 25 years it'll be It was 1868 was when the 14th Amendment was ratified. I don't want to do that math.
The provision rightly I was reading the Dred Scott versus Stanford 1857. That would be 200 years. So it'll be like 17 years shy.
It's over 150 years right now. Not quite 160. 157.
So yeah. This isn't something new.
And do you know what
around
part of the 18th Amendment they're like specifically refuting?
No, which part?
So specifically, what they're going after.
Wait. This is what it says in the thing. Hold on. But the 14th Amendment has never been interpreted to extend citizenship universally to everyone born within the United States. That's exactly what it does.
Yeah. Look, here's my take. Here's my take. You cannot be a textual purist for the Constitution, for the Second Amendment, and then talk about the spirit of the law in the 14th. Are you a textual purist or are you not? Because this is what it says.
Yeah.
So, and like, if you want to be a textual purist, that's fine. It's fine.
It's fine in the context that is the only thing that you do.
If that's what you're doing, that's fine. But you don't get to pick and or. Like, it's not either or. You have to be one of them.
You're reading.
You can either be a textual purist and then apply the 14th Amendment as such, or you can be a spirit of the law person. Can't be both. And these fucking Federalist Society motherfuckers really want to be both.
And it's really entertaining to see Federalists do that, because if the Federalists that formed this country saw these motherfuckers, they would kill them.
It'd take them a while. You gotta reload. There's a lot of them.
Well, yeah, I mean, Yeah.
But like, they would eventually get to all of them. Probably.
They would eventually get to all of them.
They would try.
Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but those motherfuckers know the layout of the land better than we do, and we live here, and we have lived here.
Yeah, but we have cool guns. Thank you, Lockheed Martin.
Shut the fuck up.
My favorite company is Lockheed Martin.
Thank you so much, Big Missile Man. Missile Man making big boom booms. Great big boom booms.
They wouldn't know what to do.
You give George Washington a nuke and see how free we are.
I wonder who he would nuke.
Here's the thing. If you give George Washington, and this is really just speaking on the character of the presidents that we have elected, even if you just give him an ICBM, if you give George Washington anything of mass destruction and you say, hey, you can send this over to the country you were feuding with, England, and they will be gone. Completely gone. You won't have to worry about them ever again. They'll never exist again. He would tell you that you're fucking crazy. That he's not doing that.
Probably. I mean, I didn't know the guy personally, so I can't say with any real certainty.
I did. I read a bunch of his books, man. Let me tell you. I've read so many biographies.
Well, did they know him personally?
I don't know. They're pretty fucking big. You seen the Grant book I have? It's at the other house.
Yeah, but I have seen it.
Yeah, they're about that big.
That's what she said.
Amen, brother. Short and thick. Anyways, we've gone off topic. Anyways, okay, so the 14th Amendment has never been interpreted to extend citizenship universally to everyone born within the United States. The 14th Amendment has always excluded from birthright citizenship persons who were born in the United States but not subject to the jurisdiction thereof. Consistent with this understanding, the Congress has further specified through legislation that a person born in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof is a national and citizen of the United States at birth, generally mirroring the 14th Amendment's text. Yeah, because it is mirroring the 14th Amendment's text. I'm kind of overreading that part. Section 2, policy. It is the policy of the United States that no department or agency of the United States government shall issue documents recognizing United States citizenship or accept documents issued by state, local, or other governments or authorities purporting to recognize United States citizenship to persons when that person's mother was unlawfully present in the United States and the person's father was not a United States citizen or lawful permanent resident at the time of said person's birth.
So this is also applying to people with TPS status as well.
Yep, it is.
Because, of course.
Yeah, of course. Nothing in this order shall be construed to affect the entitlement of other individuals, including children of lawful permanent residents, to obtain documentation of their United States citizenship.
Yeah.
Oh, enforcement. I'm looking forward to this. The Secretary of State, the Attorney General, the Secretary of Homeland Security, and the Commissioner of Social Security shall take all appropriate measures to ensure that the regulations and policies of their respective departments and agencies are consistent.
They're just repeating the same thing. They're just going to repeat the exact same thing, but say like, yeah, we're going to make sure that this happens. Yeah.
Oh, it's so...
This is one of those things where like, I am positive this is not going anywhere.
God, I hope
not. It's not going to. Like, no one's going to be down for this.
I've not, like we said earlier, I've not heard one person.
Yeah, I've not heard a single person be like, yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
Not one.
No.
Like, I talked to a lot of people. We live in Texas. I talk to a lot of people who are very right wing, and even the most racist motherfuckers I know being like, "Whoa, but they live here.
Yeah,
they were born here. Where are we going to deport them to?"
I know. I'll take it even further. I know a lot of people that, although don't understand immigration as a whole and how illegal immigrants get here, that understand that dreamers should be here.
Yeah.
Because what ties do they have to the country that they were born
Not a
in
one.
for 4 days?
Yeah, yeah. Like if it's like you're a new citizen, maybe you could have an argument. But like generally speaking, not really.
Yeah, no.
Even then, like they're probably paying more taxes than you are.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's something.
All right, guys. Here's the question of the day. If immigrants are a bunch of freeloaders, why does ICE only raid workplaces?
Yes, absolutely. I saw that talking point going around a lot.
Yep.
Speaking of, since that's a smooth transition in to the Colombian tariffs that we're looking at right now. So if you don't know, Mexico and Colombia are denying deportation claims and loads. And Trump is issuing emergency 25% tariffs against Colombia after country turned back deportation flights.
Yep.
President Donald Trump on Sunday announced retaliatory
Retaliatory.
tariffs on Colombia after its president blocked U.S. military deportation flights from landing. The first instance of Trump using economic pressure to force other nations to fall in line with his mass deportation plan since he took office last week. First of all, first week.
Yeah,
Are we so serious right now?
we are. Unfortunately, we are.
Hours after Trump's announcements, Colombian President Gustavo Petro said he ordered the Commerce Ministry to raise tariffs on U.S. imports by 25%. I am informed that you impose a 50% tariff on the fruits of our human labor to enter the United States, and I do the same, Petro wrote in a long post on X aimed at Trump before he announced a 25% tax on U.S. goods. I want to touch on something for our audience to be and our audience that are here. Tariffs we pay. We pay tariffs.
Dude, do you just want to talk
Don't
about
buy
tariffs?
bananas, brother.
You just want to talk about tariffs now?
Yeah, I mean, fuck it. I mean, we're here.
Look, okay. I work in retail sourcing. That is my job. I work in procurement and acquiring for a retail company here in the United States of America. We get a lot of our stuff imported from China and France and Germany and Eastern countries. I'll tell you who's not paying that bill. The government of anyone. We pay that bill as the stuff comes into the country. We pay that bill at customs. That's who pays for it. Us. We do. Not the company that sold it to us. Not the government of the country it came from. We, the American company, pay for it. And so, how do we counteract this? We raise our prices. Because we don't want to take a hit to our profit margin. I say we. I don't make these decisions. I just work here. But
yeah,
we don't want to take a hit to our profit margins. So what's the answer? We just charge you more. Our costs are going
been that
up.
Way forever, by the way.
That's how tariffs work. That's literally how tariffs work. Like, do you think an American company in this economy is going to be like, yeah, I'll take a hit to my profit margin? No, because they know you're stupid and you'll fucking pay for it. You want your jalapeno poppers, and so we know you're going to pay for your jalapeno poppers.
Yeah.
And so what do? We just charge you more, because what are you going to do, not have the stuff? That's the correct answer, but that's not the answer we know you're going to go with.
Ooh. Colombia's main export is petroleum, as well as coal, gems and precious metal, coffee, tea and spices, tree plants, and cut flowers.
Yep.
That's everything you consume in a day, brother.
Yep. Oh. Actually, I just got a push notification from AP. Colombian president orders increase of import tariffs on U.S. goods in retaliation to similar order from President Donald Trump.
Hey, did I mention that we're fucking cooked?
Yeah, and look, here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's not just finished products that are going to be raising costs. Like, everything you buy will have a higher cost. Because even if the item that you buy is technically made in America, all the stuff that they get to make it with are from other countries. So that still increases their cost.
Yeah.
Like, even if you're like, well, I have this really nice shirt that I like, but it's made in America. Well, the fabric probably isn't. The fabric probably is still made in China, which Trump is slating for, what, a 60% tariff?
Yeah, I actually have that pulled up.
And then the other thing with this is that even if this does increase competition for domestic manufacturers, the market has now shifted. We can they can also just charge you more money now
Yeah.
because there's a higher demand. So they're just gonna be like, okay, well, we'll just charge you more money now because they know you'll pay it.
Ba, 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 ba. Did I already have this pulled up?
I don't know. You might have.
I have a lot of tabs pulled up. Anyways,
Bro, you're using Opera. You have tab islands. Why did you not group these?
because I didn't want to.
I don't even like Opera, and I'm telling you how to use it.
Shut the fuck up. I love Opera. What do you use? Chrome?
Firefox.
I don't like Firefox's UI. Personally.
I think Opera's UI is a piece of dog shit. You installed a plugin to where it makes keyboard sounds when you type.
Hey, whoa. I did that when I was on the laptop and I just forgot to uninstall it. You mind your
Yeah,
own.
forgot. Even though I tell you about it all the time, you're like, yeah, I like it.
I will get around to it, all right,
No,
man?
you won't. No, you won't. Don't lie on recording. I caught you in 4K, motherfucker.
I will. I have ADHD. I'll make a sticky note. I'll look at it in a couple months. I'll uninstall it.
No, you won't.
Dude.
You won't even remember to make a sticky note.
I have no sticky notes on my desk right now, so you are absolutely correct on that one. All right, fine, whatever. I'll get around to it, not today.
No, you won't. You just need to stop lying to these people, man.
Dude.
Because you know you like it.
I do like it.
I know.
I like it. I like my headphones.
You're
and little
12.
clips. All right. It makes the little, ADHD brain. It's nice.
Matt, you're an able-bodied individual. You should know when you're typing.
It's like a reward.
Rewarding you for what? Finishing your Google search?
All right. I'm over this. You're just bullying me, you asshole.
A little bit.
Chat, clip this asshole.
No.
No,
Clip it and I ban you.
Fuck. All right. Anyways, I forgot what I was looking up.
China's 60% tariff.
Yeah, China's.
It doesn't matter. We're moving on. It's gonna make everything get more expensive because we just don't have the domestic manufacturing capabilities to be able to make half of what China sells us, both at scale and at price.
Dude. Washington Post, go fuck yourself.
I've been saying that one.
Dude, oh my god. Is that the one that Bezos owns?
Yes.
Oh, Bezos when I get you. Bezos when I get you, motherfucker. Okay, anyways, let's just move on to the next thing. I'm over it. Everything's gonna get more expensive. He lied to you, and we're not surprised.
Hey guys, remember when eggs were gonna be $2 a dozen, and gas was gonna be 99 cents a gallon? I remember that.
Oh, I'm gonna tell everyone for the next. I'm gonna be insufferable about the price.
You
of eggs for
remember? You remember in 2020 when it was the Biden "I did that" stickers?
It's time. It's
You just
time.
make it say "oops."
Oops. Yeah, I like that.
Thank
I don't have an article pulled up for this because honestly, it's the least surprising thing that he did day one, and it's the pulling out of the Paris Climate Agreement.
Again.
Again. Oh, dude.
No, we
again.
knew it was coming.
But that's not the only thing that he pulled out of. Can anybody take a guess at to what that is?
Your mom?
My mom is a lovely woman. This is a map of who is part of the WHO, the
I
World
love that band.
Organization. Nice. You notice how it's every country?
There are 2 countries that are members of the UN. that are not part of the World Health Organization. One of them is Liechtenstein, which is a city-state. And the other is the United States of America, baby. Let's fucking go.
God damn it. I hate woke health.
Free.
I hate woke health. That's what it stands for. Woke Health Organization.
Woke health.
I'm gonna get real Alex Jones on you for
Woke
a minute.
hell organization.
Woke Health Organization. It's part of the globalist
Woke
dynamic.
hell organization.
It's there. You know what the WHO
coming
does?
after my liberties. I just want to drink the fluoride. I want them to put the chemicals in the water to turn the friggin' frogs gay.
I can't wait for RFK to
It's
put
so
Diet Coke in the water.
It's so woke. I can't wait for RFK to put the cocaine back in Coca-Cola. So, do you know why Trump is actually, like, what his cited reason is for leaving the WHO?
I mean, I would assume it has to do with his poor handling of COVID.
That was part of it.
But other than that, I was
pay them too much money.
looking at this. Oh my god! So we're pulling out of the UN next too, right?
Dude, if we pull out of the UN, that's gonna be crazy. I don't think we would ever pull out of the UN. We're a ranking member on the Security Council. We're one of the only ones that have a say.
We give them too much money. There's too much money going to too many things around the world.
Well, it's because we pay them too much and China pays them too little.
$1 more billion to fucking Israel, please.
Send them the tanks. Send them the missiles. Send them my love. I love you, BB.
I want the finest missiles, and I want them to all have fluoride in the water. Oh my god. Yeah, that's not surprising.
Man, I did not see this coming.
This feels like I'm trolling at this point. Like, there's like.
Show them the map.
Huh?
You have the map pulled up?
Yeah, I have the map pulled up. That's the first thing I pulled up. Yeah.
I don't have your stream open.
Yeah, this is just. It's so diabolical. I don't even know where to like. There's no starting point and no ending point here. We can just go, wow, this is really terrible, and it's like that for basically everything that he's done this week.
Yeah, and so like you'll see there's another gray one in Africa. That's the Western Sahara, which is a non-self-governing territory. Which it's not part of any sovereign state.
Correct. And then over here, I don't know if you have it pulled up. This is one of the inhabited indigenous people tribe islands.
The purple one. Yeah.
This gray one right here.
Yeah.
And there's literally no human contact on that island because the indigenous people don't.
They don't like us.
They don't like us, and honestly, good on them, man. They might be the right ones. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we're winning, y'all. We're doing so good.
We're doing something.
All right. Let me pull up the Google Doc. Wait, huge shout out to Caleb, by the way. He sat and we talked about what we wanted to talk about, and he made a Google Doc.
I made it gorgeous. Google Docs beautiful again.
Make Google Docs beautiful again.
Make a Google Doc again.
A couple of things we're gonna talk on just briefly because these are just things that are happening and we have no control over, nor does it directly affect us within the next 60 days. The national energy emergency, ending Biden's radical EV mandate, Doge, federal hiring freeze, and then we'll move on to some of the bigger things.
What I'm highlighting we already covered, just so you know.
Yeah.
We're reviewing NAFTA again, even because Trump says we got a bad deal, but he's the one who made the deal.
Yeah.
It's literally his deal.
I don't know how many times we're gonna play this game, old man. Like, I want to say a good 60% of the things that most Trumpers complain about. He's the one who did it.
I love how you muted
Trump
yourself.
did it. I know. I still haven't gotten used to the button being right there.
Yeah, most of the stuff that sucks, Trump did.
Yeah, and whatever. Oh, let's see. Do I have something pulled up? The radical EV mandate.
I can pull something up for you if you need. Yeah, by the way, there's no radical EV mandate. That just doesn't exist. It was just tax credits for if you buy an electric vehicle.
Let's see. Is this a quote from him? Trump ends Biden's ridiculous EV mandate. Green new scam. Look, I'm not gonna lie to you. And I'm a bad guy right now. And
I've
that's
been
okay.
saying that one.
All right, buddy. I'm a big car guy. All right. If this means they bring back V8s, my God, so be it. But this wasn't this wasn't like Caleb said, this wasn't some mandate that's like we have to make all cars green by the year 2023-30. This is just a tax write-off. Hey, if you buy a green car, you get a tax write-off.
And they did like push for more electric vehicles to be made, which, to be clear, is not bad.
Right. But we're losing this to China. And here's another
their
thing.
EVs are banned. We can't get good China EVs in America.
Yeah. Not to mention that China's two biggest exports are technology and cars.
Yeah.
And both of them are banned in the United States because they're better than the ones that we make here.
Yeah. Okay. Look, I'll tell you this. I won't buy an EV right now. I'll buy a hybrid. I won't buy an EV right now. There's one EV I'll never buy. The goddamn Tesla.
Amen, brother.
I hate the motherfucking Tesla. Them things explode.
Look, I'm not a big EV guy. If you're seeing this and you know me, you know I'm a motorhead. I love tinkering on cars. I love building cars. I love working on cars. Like, I love a good American V8. We haven't had one of those in quite a while, though. And look, if I were to own an EV, I'm a big Chevy guy. I'm buying that Chevy Silverado EV. I think it's badass.
Dude,
I think the towing capacity is great. I think the torque is great. I think that the storage capacity is phenomenal. I think that they're doing great things. But let me tell you something else. If I were to actually buy an EV, it's going to be the Volkswagen ID bus.
That's based.
That thing is sick as shit.
If it wasn't a Kia, I would really like the Ioniq 5.
I look, Kia EVs are well ahead of their time. And Kia in the last couple of years have been... Oh, you said Kia.
But it's the Kia Auto Group.
Well, I know. That's why I'm sticking to the topic. It's a Hyundai after you said Kia. Fuck you. Kia's been on it. I don't know, but I'll tell you what. There's not a lot of American cars I'm buying anymore. And we keep making this argument about got to make America great again. We got to make manufacturing great in America again. We're not making great shit. I don't know if you've looked around. I'm not driving a fucking American EV. Except for like maybe a Rivian, but those things are fucking expensive.
Yeah, but they are sick.
They are sick. They're super sick. I own some of their stock. Woo, Rivian. Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
The Nissan Ariya is really nice.
I'm not owning anything Nissan, and that's personal grievances. We're gonna do a much more lighthearted podcast talking about just us
and cars.
And cars. Hopefully, when we're off screen here, me and Kilb are gonna lock down a time. Hopefully next weekend.
I'm down.
No promises, but next weekend. But anyways, I digress.
Back to the very real EV mandate.
Yes, right. Yes, of course. Trump revokes Biden order, but that doesn't mean EVs die. I don't want to read USA Today. Why did I click that? News. Oh, here we go. Trump revokes Biden 50% EV target, freezes unspent charging funds. U.S. President Donald Trump on Monday took aim at electric vehicles, revoking a 2021 executive order signed by his predecessor Joe Biden that sought to ensure half of all new vehicles sold in the United States by 2030 were electric. Biden's 50% target, which was not legally binding, had won the support of U.S. and foreign automakers. Trump said in an exclusive order that he was halting distribution of unspent government funds for vehicle charging stations from a $5 billion fund, calling for ending a waiver for states to adopt zero-emissions vehicle rule by 2035, and said his administration would consider ending EV tax credits.
Yeah.
Dude, for somebody who's so pro-American, and you know, this great,
everyone liked this. Everyone liked this. Even if you didn't like EVs, you're like, I respect that.
Yeah, because it's like, dude, we're not getting rid of your classic Chevelle. We're not getting rid of your Mustang. Maybe new ones aren't made anymore, which sucks. But the reason I brought this up is because we have not made a good American sports car that doesn't cost $120,000 in years. The coolest American sports car that you can buy right now is a Corvette, and it's $120,000 out the gate. No average person is going out and buying one of those.
Dude, we don't even have the Camaro anymore. You know how depressed I am that we don't have the Camaro?
Brother, tell me about it. I'm a huge Chevy fanboy. I love me a Camaro. I love me a Corvette. Camaros are my favorite cars on the planet. I would own all of them if I could. The 6th gen Corvette, the 6th gen Camaro, which was the last iteration of the Camaro, it died in grace. It went out like a champ. We got a bunch of cool packages for it. But I mean, nice.
I gotta get my Camaro jacket.
But I mean,
talking about cars.
We have not made muscle cars since the early 2000s, and we have to be so serious with ourselves right now. Even diehard Dodge guys. Let me speak directly to the people here. Your
kill yourself.
800 to 1,000. Your 800 horsepower to 1,000 horsepower car that you buy, that's been discontinued, that weighs a fucking shit ton and has no wheel grip. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's super fucking cool. Yeah, it's got a cool 0 to 60 if you can grip right. What are you doing with that, man? You don't street race. You're 60 years old, or you're a 20-year-old Army recruit, and you're buying something that you're going to use once a week, twice a week.
Yeah.
It's not realistic. And I'm not a realistic guy, but I have a realistic car.
Yeah.
You have to have a realistic car. And that doesn't mean that you can't have a fun car, but who the fuck is going out and buying fun cars like they're buying realistic cars? If you look at auto trends and who buys what, EVs are the next wave. And that sucks. It hurts to say as a car guy, EVs are the next wave. But fuck, let me put a on an EV and make it go real fast. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to end. I'm legally not allowed to say this, but I go to Mexico. You know what I'm saying? I love racing. You can still do that in an EV.
Really better at drag racing.
They are unfortunately better at drag racing. I'm not going to go on the record and say that because it's gay.
I will.
Duh.
Unfortunately.
But my gay counterpart up here, he'll say.
You literally suck dick and cock.
All right, dude. Okay. That's not the type of gay I'm talking about. But
no, man.
Anyway, I digress. I don't want to talk too much more about this, but it's silly. Getting rid of tax credits and getting rid of incentivizations for progress. It's silly. And my camera's blurry. Boop. There we go.
There it goes.
The next thing is Doge.
It's dog shit.
It's dog shit, dude.
They took the USDS, which is the U.S. Digital Service, and they're like, this is Doge now. And actually, they renamed it. So it's still the USDS. So the USDS up until
So
a week
funny.
ago was the U.S. Digital Service, which has to do with like network and infrastructure and everything that the U.S. government needs to have a computer system. That's what the USDS was for. And now, even though... Oh, hello, DJ.
Hi, DJ. You want to come say hi to the pod? We're doing a political pod today.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah, we're talking about everything that Trump's doing wrong.
Hi, DJ.
Is that Caleb?
Yeah, it's Caleb. Me and
Hey.
Caleb are doing the Cousin Brother podcast,
Dude.
episode 1.
He looks fresh.
Yeah. Yeah. This is my roommate DJ, everybody.
I came to drop off a literal bird cage.
I have a bird.
Rhino.
Oh, man. I'm so excited. Okay.
Oh, there's the other pet.
Oh, hi, Lloyd. Hi, darling.
Sorry, I'm getting distracted.
Doge. Lock it.
What? Behind you, behind you.
The Nazi. Anyways.
There's a Doge right on the bed behind you.
There. Okay, no.
Hey, the little puppy dog.
I'm on the purple app. It's fine. Yeah.
Anyways.
Elon Musk's Doge is considering blockchain adoption and government efficiency push.
Yeah, so back to what I was saying. The USDS, U.S. Digital Service, now that, and like they're worried about the efficiency, validity, and security of United States federal computer systems. And that's all they did. And now, even though they said Doge was going to do the whole government, they're just doing digital stuff. They've just narrowed it down. And so now they've renamed the U.S. Digital Service to the U.S. Doge Service. So it's still the USDS. It still does functionally the same thing. Now Elon is in charge, though. That's it. Yep.
I'm gonna do a slight tangent.
It wasn't even what they promised.
And it's because I'm ashamed of this, but I'm a crypto guy.
I know you are. We've talked about this.
Yeah, we have. Look, I don't like honestly, I don't like Donald Trump being in charge of anything digital, but especially Elon Musk, who's quite cryptically known for ruining
Apps, the internet,
much less tanking Dogecoin.
Which sucks, because, like, I had some money in that.
Yeah, so, like, we're going to put the guy who's bad at running apps, who's bad at managing crypto, who's only really good at managing money if it's not actually him in charge of it. And we're going to put him in charge of all of our digital assets. Huge. Love that. Love that so much. Also, at what point do, dude, oh man, I'm so flabbergasted. The idea of take this with a grain of salt, but the idea of a foreign national being in charge of an American anything, are we so serious right now?
Yeah, and this is coming from the party who hates the immigrants.
As
unless
long
they're
as
white.
they're not billionaires.
We hate the immigrants, but only the brown ones and only the poor ones.
Yeah. But especially the poor ones. And oh my god, if you're poor and brown, you're cooked.
You should kill yourself immediately, apparently.
Yeah. Chat, clip that out of context.
No. No. And speaking of crypto, let's real quick. I dropped it in the doc just a second ago because I forgot this happened.
Trump yes. Yeah, I saw. Oh, dude.
Donald John Trump is now billions of dollars richer thanks to the week before he went into office. He's like, I want a crypto coin. Let's make a crypto coin. And he owns 80% of it.
Didn't what's her name? Haley Welsh. Isn't that the Hawk-Tua girl?
Yeah.
Didn't she just do this and then like vanish?
Well, she rug pulled.
Oh, okay. That's right.
Donald Trump hasn't rug pulled yet.
But okay, so there's two moving parts to this because it's Trump coin and also Melania coin.
Mhm.
I've seen several people talk about this on Twitter, and I want to reiterate, I am not in an echo chamber on Twitter. I follow a bunch of right-leaning people because I don't want to be in an echo chamber and I like getting into online fights. And there's not a one person who is liking that at all. I saw one tweet. Fuck, I should have saved it. Where it was making America a crypto is really, really dumb, and you should just stick to policy. Like, I have not seen a single right-leaning person that hasn't benefited from the coin. Let me put that out there. That hasn't benefited from the coin. That's like, oh, thanks, Donald, for this crypto. Especially if you think about the MAGA base and who is like, it's an older crowd for the most part. Like, if you think about like your parents or your grandparents or your uncles or aunts or whatever that are MAGA people, what do they know about crypto? We're 24 and we don't understand crypto. What the fuck are these guys gonna know about crypto? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a break. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Talk about the federal hiring freeze.
Oh, there's not really much to talk about here.
It's just gonna take a minute. That's why.
I don't know what you just said to me. So, fun fact, I work for the federal government, or I will soon. Technically, I don't yet. I have a offer letter. So, the current hiring freeze posed by Trump on day one of the presidency is that it's a freeze on hiring of all federal civilian employees. So, as a part of this freeze, no federal civilian position that is vacant as of noon on January 20th may be filled, and no new position can be created, which applies to all executive departments and agencies, regardless of their sources of operational and programmatic funding. But there are some exceptions. So this does not apply to military personnel of the armed forces or to positions related to immigration enforcement, national security, or public safety. So technically my job, which I will talk about later, is still okay because it is national security and public safety. And nothing in the memorandum will apply to or like adversely impact the provision of Social Security, Medicare, or VA benefits, allegedly. And the director of the Office of Personnel Management may grant exceptions from this freeze where those exemptions are necessary. So say like everyone in the IRS decides to quit tomorrow, the director of the Office of Personnel Management can look at this and say, okay, well, we need IRS agents. So, but yeah, generally, no new federal civil employees can be hired. Hello. With a few exceptions, one of which being my job, I believe. I think.
I need to get with you about looking at my test score because I still haven't heard anything. I'm worried.
I'll get with you. We'll talk after this.
Okay.
I don't remember how to check. I might. I'm gonna find out if I remember.
Okay. All right.
Okay, what do you want to hit now?
The next thing is healthcare, and that's gonna be long.
Is there anything we skipped?
Did we talk about national energy emergency?
We skipped it.
Okay, cool.
Which is fine.
Oh, IG saying no.
Oh, inspectors general saying no. So inspectors general are a position that is president appointed and Senate approved in every branch or every department of the government. And their entire thing is to look at stuff going on and say, yep, this is up to snuff. No, this is not up to snuff. Any new rules, they look at it and say, like, oh, this is up to code, or anything going on. They say, this is good or bad, and we need to take a look at this. They're there essentially as auditors. That's their whole job. That's the whole thing they do. And Trump overnight, very, very, very late at night, was just like, what if we just fire all of them? And then they all just said, no. I linked actually the letter that the inspectors general wrote back to Trump.
Oh, okay, cool. I will pull that up as well.
I will read it. So this was going to Sergio Gore, who's director of presidential personnel at the White House. And this was written by the chairman of the Council of Inspectors General on Integrity and Efficiency, because Trump was just like, I'm firing all you motherfuckers. And they wrote back and said, Dear Mr. Gore, I am writing in response to your email sent to me and other inspectors general earlier this evening, wherein you informed each of us that, quote, due to changing priorities, your position as inspector general is terminated effective immediately, end quote. As chairperson of the Council of the Inspectors General on Integrity and Efficiency, I recommend that you reach out to your White House counsel to discuss your intended course of action. At this point, we do not believe that the actions taken are legally sufficient to dismiss presidentially appointed, Senate-confirmed Inspectors General. Specifically, based on the 2022 amendments to the Inspector General Act of 1978, the president must notify Congress 30 days prior to the removal of an Inspector General and provide substantive rationale, including detailed and case-specific reasons for such removal. Under Title V U.S.C. Section 403B, as amended by Section 5202A of the Securing Inspector General Independence Act of 2022, which is Title 52, Subtitle A of PL 177 to 263, 136, Statute 2395 and 3222, the requirement to provide the substantive rationale, including detailed and case-specific reasons, presented to better enable Congress to engage on and respond to a proposed removal of an Inspector General in order to protect the independence of Inspectors General. And this was written by Mike Ware, who is the chairperson of the CIGIE, black man, by the way. I'm sure that made them very happy. Yeah, he's basically just like, no. You're not going to fire us because you didn't do anything you needed to do for it.
This is just a video of Schumer absolutely flaming Trump, I believe. And I love it.
Get a limited time Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee.
Oh my God, these ads on these fucking websites. We are in the end times. Capitalism has reached every medium. Anyways.
Purge.
Get a limited time
price lock guarantee for a limit started with internet and security for $49.99 a month. Call today. In a late night purge overnight, Trump also reportedly fired at least a dozen independent inspector generals who serve as the government watchdogs. Republican Senator Chuck Grassley is already calling on Trump to explain these firings because he was supposed to, provide notice to lawmakers before making such a move. Democrats also very concerned. Take a listen to Senator Schumer.
Yesterday, in the dark of night, President Trump fired at least 12 independent inspector generals at important federal agencies across the administration. This is a chilling purge, and it's a preview of the lawless approach Donald Trump and his administration are taking far too often as he's becoming president.
So can Trump unilaterally do this, or do you see some legal challenges coming here?
Well, it's going to be difficult to challenge it at this point. But what the law says, so the Inspector General Act first of all, inspector generals were put in place by Congress to provide independent oversight over the executive branch. And so they have special authorities that enable them to do investigations within the executive branch. Then the Inspector General Act was amended 2008, I think, in terms of being able to have the president have authority to remove inspector generals, but the president under the law is supposed to provide 30 days notice to Congress. So the president has authority to do it, but the law requires that he provide 30 days notice. In this case, he didn't.
And if not, then what? What's the potential
if not,
ramifications?
then Congress has a problem. So we are going to be in a situation, and this inspector general issue is one. The TikTok law is another, where Congress passed a law that said a certain thing is supposed to happen, and then that doesn't happen. So the remedies available to Congress are obviously, number one, they can do oversight. They can demand information from the executive branch explaining what happened. They can hold hearings if they want to. Normally, the other lever that Congress has available to it is the budget. Query whether in this particular situation, Congress would want to adjust budgets because they want inspector generals to be funded. And then another option that's potentially available is sometimes the House of Representatives actually brings lawsuits. But we'll see whether any of those things will happen. I think Senator Grassley, obviously, who has long been a defender of inspectors general, will want to demand answers for why these individuals were removed. But it is contrary to Congress's law.
Yeah.
You want customers to know.
You know, Lindsey Graham.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, pretty much summed it up.
I like how Schumer opened.
Yeah, I really don't like Chuck Schumer, but he was kind of spitting there.
He has been this entire week. Let me tell you, dude, he's been cooking, and it is infuriating to watch. But by God, he's on it.
I hate that motherfucker.
Me too, but man, he is on anti-fascism watch. Let me tell you. No, this is incredible. So I've seen a couple of proposals running around right now suggesting that Congress so be fit, which they won't, but so be fit, as of most of the things that he's done in the last week, can already impeach him after his 90 days.
Yep. Don't do it. But they could
won't,
and they should.
They could and they should. Absolutely. I wish, dude, I miss presidents having shame.
That's over with. That is so fully over with.
And like, I don't think that I fully realized how shameless presidents could be until Trump.
Yep.
And I'm going back all the way to 2016, just when he first, like, even when he was just running and everything was just like against him, and he's still, no, I don't give a fuck. What?
Yeah.
Most people, that's political suicide.
Yeah. On him though.
All right. Healthcare.
I gotta go pee really quick, but you can get started. Just talk about the insulin cap.
Yeah. Okay. Absolutely. So the first order of business: remove Biden directives to make it easier to enroll ACA or Obamacare, which is the Affordable Care Act, and why Republicans don't know that these are the same thing. Very, very interesting issue. I actually have a video loaded on my TikTok. My problem with this is the $35 monthly cap on insulin, the $2K annual out-of-pocket cap on meds. Medicare can no longer negotiate drug pricing. This is getting alarming and rapidly out of control. This is one of those things that we were talking about earlier, where it's like these are just starting to become impeachable offenses. Not only that, he runs on this trend of a man of the people to make America great again. But if you look at insulin prices and who uses insulin, it's his voters. An executive order signed by former President Joe Biden aimed at lowering prescription drug prices was among those voided by President Donald Trump's flurry of executive orders this week. Trump rescinded Biden's 2022 order lowering prescription drug costs for Americans, including it in a list of dozens of former executive actions he described as deeply unpopular, inflationatory, illegal, and radical practices. The only thing inflationary that is happening right now is you removing the cap. It cost cents to make insulin, and the fact that we charge $35 for it at all is already ridiculous. But to charge upwards of, I mean, what were the prices back in COVID? They were fucking atrocious. Insulin prices 2020.
So now, as of 2023, they were costing upwards of $250 a vial.
Right. From 2014 to 2019, the average annual insulin price rose 55% from $3,819 to $5,917. Guys, it cost literally cents to make this drug. That saved millions.
So in the U.S. in 1996, a vial of insulin costs $21 for the American public. Now it costs, well, it was capped, but now we'll see. In 2023, it was costing upwards of $250. It takes about $2 to $4 to produce a vial of insulin. Profit is extracted every step of the way, from when it's produced by the drug manufacturer to when it goes to the pharmacy, and then so the American insulin market is dominated by three manufacturers. That's Eli Lilly, Sanofi, and Novo Nordisk. Those are the three. That, with little competition, they've raised their prices in lockstep with each other for decades. But there are other players besides those big three that are contributing to the problem. Pharmacy benefit managers, which are also known as PBMs, which they contract with insurance carriers and act on the behalf of the insurer. So your insurance company, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Anthem, Cigna, all of them fuckers, should negotiate the price of insulin with the drug manufacturers. In negotiating the price, PBMs then place a drug higher or lower on their tier of preferred drugs, and then receive rebates based on a percentage of that list price. So this kind of system incentivizes high list prices, which then determine the amount of coinsurance patients pay. And if you have an insurance policy with a high deductible, or if you're uninsured, depending on the drug, you are then required to pay the entire list price. Now we have negotiated to be higher so we can have a higher rebate. Don't get me started on healthcare, bro.
Well, that's where we're at, brother.
Yeah.
So why is it such a big deal that he removed the cap? It's because the people that voted for Donald Trump require this cap. If you think of the average American voter, left or right, we're not Elon Musk. We're not even making what senators make. Okay. Junior senators. I mean, don't even get me started. Like, the average. What's the average income last year?
Look for the median U.S. income, which was the median U.S. income as of 2022 was $37,585, according to the United States Census Bureau. And U.S. senators make $174,000 a year.
These motherfuckers that vote for you to not be able to afford things that they barely themselves can afford.
Well, and here's the thing. There's a real problem with not capping the cost of insulin, because if you can't afford it, what a lot of people do is they will ration their insulin.
Mm-hmm.
And insulin is essential for life. Without it, we literally die. And unfortunately, there have been multiple deaths reported, mostly among young people with type 1 diabetes who are unable to afford insulin.
Yep.
That's the most severe consequence of rationing insulin. For people who are able to get insulin but are using less than prescribed, or for people with type 2 diabetes, their complications can include diabetic ketoacidosis, kidney failure, amputations, blindness, heart attacks, strokes, but we want you to pay over $250 a month to get life-saving treatment. Not $35 a month. That's too little. We're not giving the insurance companies what they need. So, yeah.
The next item on order is the repeal of Biden orders on COVID.
There's not much there.
Yeah.
You want to get into foreign policy?
Fuck, dude, I love me some foreign policy.
Let's go.
Oh, I love me some foreign policy. Oh.
So,
okay.
During the only good thing Biden has done during the war was he put sanctions on far-right Israeli groups and individuals accused of violence against Palestinians in the West Bank, not even Gaza, in the West Bank. And Biden's order had frozen U.S. assets and barred Americans from dealing with Israelis that were covered by his order. So he's like, look, if you're committing violence against people in the West Bank, we won't give you $2 billion. It wasn't even like that crazy. That's not even crazy. That's not even like even for a right-wing person, that's not crazy. Because these aren't even the people we're at war with. These are just other Palestinians in a different area.
Let me just read this real quick. The reversal of the Biden administration's sanctions, which were meant to punish radical settlers, could set the tone for a presidency that is expected to be more tolerant of Israelis' expansion of settlements and of violence towards Palestinians. In Trump's previous term, he lavished support on Israel, and he once again surrounded himself with aides who back the settlers.
Yeah.
Settler leaders rushed to praise Trump's decision on the sanctions, which were first imposed nearly a year ago as violence surged during the war in Gaza. The sanctions were later expanded to include other Israelis seen as violent or radical.
Which there were very few of those, by the way. Let's be clear.
Yes.
Very, very, very few people were seen as violent or radical.
Right.
To be clear, this did not affect very many people.
Yeah.
It should have, but it didn't.
Finance Minister and Settler Firebrand met. Not reading that because I don't want to butcher it.
It's Bezalel Smotrich.
Cool. Called it a just decision, saying the sanctions were a severe and blatant foreign intervention in a post on social media platform X. He went on to praise Trump's unwavering and uncompromising support for the state of Israel. Honestly, I could read this entire article because it's very important.
I'm not gonna.
I'm not going to because we will stop and read this article for 4 hours. But the blatant disregard of the not war, it is a genocide. Let us be very clear on what is happening in Gaza and in Israel right now. It is a genocide, and those who are denying it would have been Nazis.
Yes.
This removal of international sanctions and the praise that Donald Trump is getting is up there with going, hey, Hitler, stop doing. You can do whatever you want. Just don't invade France. All right? Just don't invade France. That sounds like a good enough plan, right? And then the next president coming in, we'll call him Trump because that's what would have happened. Hey, you can invade France now. And also, here's more war crime things to do.
Yep.
When you allow people to get away with doing bad things, although you are not doing the bad thing, you are now applicable to the bad thing.
Yep.
This is not a I grew up my entire life listening to people in my household, my history teachers, my history professors saying that America were the police of the world. And if we don't intervene, we are bad. Well, I have watched us do nothing but intervene for the wrong reasons or not intervene at all.
Yep. we're intervening in the UN Security Council, though. I'll tell you that much. Also, Trump redesignated the Houthis as international terrorists. No shocker there. We knew who's going to do that.
Yeah.
Because, yeah. We'll just leave it there. That doesn't surprise me.
I mean, there's a bunch to talk about, and there's also, like, it gets to a point when you're talking about Trump and when you're talking about this administration for 6 days, oh God, where it's just like we're regurgitating the same thing about different policies. This is bad. I have not seen so much bad in one sitting.
Nope.
We used to we had a president that dropped 2 atomic bombs and regretted it his entire life. And now we have a president, multiple presidents, but a president that is complicit in genocide and complicit in the absolute raping of the Middle East.
Yep. And we actually like that. We should do more of that.
Yeah. And not only do we like that, but we're so ignorant to what is actually happening in these places that we vote in favor of that.
It's not even that we're ignorant or unaware. It's at a certain point, being unaware stops becoming an excuse.
Absolutely. I agree.
Because at what point are you unaware, and at what point are you willingly not finding out?
Yeah. Let me reiterate the fact that we have become so desensitized to these things that are happening around the world at young ages too, that when you tell somebody that they are complicit in ordering a genocide or allowing a president to order a genocide to continue happening, that they call it a woke talking point.
Yeah.
We have gone so far from the plot that it's to the point where it's ignorantly inexcusable.
Yeah. We're at a point where it doesn't matter whether we know or not.
Yeah.
Because there's no way we don't know.
Yeah.
It's such a high level of gross negligence that it is criminal. It is. Full stop.
Yeah. And not only is it criminal, but the fact that we criminalize people who speak out against it adds to the dude, this is one of those things. So like Caleb's super into healthcare. I'm super into world politics. I
am too, but I'm letting you take the reins because I know this is your bread and butter.
Oh, I'm just gonna keep repeating myself. We gotta move on.
Yeah. We are pausing all U.S. foreign development aid pending reviews of efficiencies and consistency, which should be done within 90 days. This does exclude Israel and Ukraine. Another $1 billion to Israel, please. They need more bombs. We need to kill more brown children.
I know I was gonna. I'm not gonna stop talking about it. This is ridiculous. We are allowing money to be sent to Ukraine for the freedom of the people of Ukraine, while also simultaneously fighting a war that is against the exact opposite of what is happening.
Yes.
I have never seen a more clear example of both sides of the wrong coin in my life.
Yeah. I don't have anything against the war in Ukraine. I don't think we really should be involved. I think we, to the extent that we are, just because it's not our fight. And no reason we need to get involved. When the war in
Ukraine first broke out, I was all for the support of Ukraine, and I want to go on record here and
to be clear,
I still am. But you cannot free a people and ostracize another, and that is what we have done for the greater half of 2 years now.
Yeah, and this is, our white dove president, Donald Trump, peaceful dove. No more wars, except for the ones
No
that are
more
already
wars.
fighting. We're gonna go harder, actually.
Yeah. Yep.
Which I'm surprised he included Ukraine in that. With how much he sucks Putin's dick.
I am as well.
I'm surprised he hasn't been like, let them in, let them kill the Ukrainians.
The Ukrainians
They're
are really
bad.
just Russians with a little bit of something else going on anyways. Let's be real here.
It's surprising to me. Israel, not surprised. I knew that was coming.
No, not at all. And it's been that way for, several
Decades.
presidents now. Whatever. Like
Since, I don't know, 1942.
Yeah, whatever. It's not whatever. I'm actually really upset about it. But
It's not whatever, but it's also like it's whatever.
But the if we're gonna be like that, the war in Ukraine has been going on for centuries.
Yep.
Like this isn't something new, and this wasn't something that came out of the blue. The little history lesson for those of you who don't know: the Russians implemented a Ukrainian civil war in the 1900s just to take more of their land without them paying attention. Because you know what happens during civil war? Maps get blurred. You know what happens when maps get blurred? You don't know which city is actually yours. Russians been doing this to them for decades. And yeah, I believe that we should be involved, but involved to this extent? No, absolutely not. Involved in a diplomatic response? Absolutely. Because if Russia was truly our super fucking anti-America mega enemy, then
arch nemesis.
This wouldn't be a question. This wouldn't be a war. This would be a sit down, and it would be a, hey, you want another Cold War? Because that's what would really happen if it were up to a different president.
Which it just might be.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a fun one. Trump wrote an executive order to immediately grant 6-month clearance to certain administration officials. When I say administration, I mean Trump administration officials whose background checks are pending. He's just like, yeah, pass them through.
Is this for Elon? I feel like this is...
That's a good question. I don't know. I think there are a good handful.
I saw this, and my immediate one was, well, Elon's a foreign national.
Yeah.
So his background check's going to take a long time. Fun fact, I work at NASA. My background check, I'm a government contractor. I'm not even a civil servant. My background check took a long time, and my boss is a foreign national. He's from England. He's a citizen in the States, but he's a foreign national, and on his badge, it says foreign national, even though he is a government contractor. His background check took a long-ass time, and we're allies with England.
Yep.
So
I have a friend who also works at NASA, and her family is Russian. So her background check
was extensive.
It took a year.
Yeah. And so I have to assume that this is not strictly for Elon, but it's definitely...
He's one of the people.
It's catered toward him.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the nicknaming. Oh. I just read the next one.
We're moving on to nationalism, guys.
Oh my god.
It's so awesome. We are renaming Mount Denali again. Because we care more about old white guys who are good at economics than we do to listening to the native tribes who have lived there their whole lives and their whole families' lives and their whole families' lives. We don't care what they call it. We're naming it after a white guy.
Whoa!
Woohoo! We love white guys.
Oh my
I don't care that he was our 28th president. That's not what it's called. That one's so very cool. There's not even a point in doing this. Like, this is just another bit of a racist dog whistle here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And fucking look, man. It's a mountain in Alaska. Do you want to drop down to number 4 there if we're going to talk about renaming stuff? Gulf of America. No more Gulf of Mexico. This is about the Gulf of America. Drop that image.
Yeah. I got you.
I linked an image for you.
Yeah. I hate you. I hate you so much.
Gulf of America! Yeah, brother! That's right!
What is with the naming of the Gulf of Mexico? So Biden signed an order that no more drilling should be done in the Gulf of Mexico, and so this is a
sneaky little ploy.
It's a little workaround.
Drill,
It's
baby, drill. Let's go.
It's to continue drilling in the Gulf of
Crack
Mexico.
harder.
And it's turned into a very nationalist argument because a lot of countries have come out and recognized that this is not real and that he can't just do that because he can't. The Gulf of Mexico is not owned by America. It is not.
It's literally international waters.
It's international waters. It has to be internationally recognized. On American. Okay, here's the thing, and this is so silly, but it's how it works, and it's how it works for the entire world, by the way. If you go, that country doesn't exist in other countries, but it does in other countries, their maps will look different. Going forward, if Trump actually pulls this off with, I don't even know, I guess Congress?
I don't even know. Is that a Congress thing? Is that an executive order thing? I don't even know.
I don't even know. The maps in America, only in America, will say Gulf of America.
Why are we doing this, man? It's.
Here's my thing, though, and here's what I'm curious about, because it is international water, and you have to get permission to drill within certain parts of international water. Since internationally it will not be recognized as the Gulf of America, will international water and international law comply with the executive order that Biden signed, or will it comply with the fact that we call it the Gulf of America and it's not the Gulf of Mexico, so we don't abide by that?
First one.
Probably, yeah, but it's still something to think about. Will his legal loophole work? I don't think so.
I was recently talking to a British friend I have, and he's just like, yeah, we all just feel so sorry for you guys. We just see what's happening over the last week, and we don't know what to say other than we're sorry you have to deal with this. Because, and the thing about it is, a lot of the stuff that he's changing, a lot of this international stuff, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter.
No.
We're just doing this for fun.
Yeah.
No one else in the world is gonna be down with this. But we are.
Yeah. The Trump administration's Interior Department said on Friday it had officially changed the name of Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America and the Alaskan Peak Denali to Mount McKinley. U.S. President Donald Trump ordered the name changes as part of a flurry of executive. If I read a flurry of executive orders one more time, I'm gonna cry, because that's Anyways,
nice executive order. Want to see my unregistered firearm? I didn't say that.
You didn't say that.
I stole that joke from Twitter.
Yeah, it's a meme. God, dude, Elon does that meme all the time. It's fine. As directed by the president, the Gulf of Mexico will now officially be known as the Gulf of America, and North America's highest peak will once again bear the name Mount McKinley, the Interior Department said in a statement.
Yeah, man, it doesn't even matter.
I'm really interested to see if he actually is able to drill. I don't foresee it happening, just because if you think about the companies that do drill, here's the other thing. If you think about the companies that drill in the Gulf, BP, Chevron, et cetera, they abide by international law, not by U.S. law, because they are internationally recognized companies, not American-based companies. They might have American-based headquarters, et cetera, but since they provide petroleum worldwide, they're internationally recognized. They have to abide by international law, not by American law.
Yep.
So it's going to be very interesting watching Trump trying to drill, baby, drill, and companies going, well, we can't, sorry. And it all just ends up being, oh, well, it was a nationalist ploy. The globalists, they don't want you to drill in the ocean. I say drill. Let them drill. There's more to talk about, and I'm sure that there's better experts on this than us, certainly. But
no, we're the best.
Amen, brother. That's our nationalism right there, baby.
That's it.
But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to watch this particular part. It's not the most interesting to me, but it's going to be the one that has probably the most interesting economic kind of repercussions, I suppose you should say. Because he's really gung ho about getting more oil. He's really gung ho about a lot of this nationalist stuff. And here's the other thing: I don't know that he is aware if he's being nationalist, if that makes sense.
No, there's no way he doesn't know.
I don't know. He's surrounded by so many people. I don't know that. What I'm getting at is I know that he knows what he's doing. I don't know that he knows that it's nationalist.
There's no way he doesn't know. Like, I know he's stupid, but he can't be that stupid.
I don't know. The third one.
Let's barrel through the rest of this nationalist stuff. First, Trump. Now all new federal buildings and design standards for federal buildings must go through Donald Trump, so that the president can ensure federal structures respect regional, traditional, and classical architecture heritage in order to uplift and beautify public spaces and ennoble the United States. Whatever, that doesn't fucking matter. Only statues you can make are of him now. That's about it.
I'm not gonna lie. If this means that we get more 1920s deco buildings, I'm so down. But if it means we get more brutalism, I'm gonna kill myself.
That's fair. Also, on the topic of Trump being a big old baby, he ordered that all U.S. flags would be flown at full staff on Inauguration Day, which was to countermand Biden's traditional 30-day order, lowering flags as a mourning tribute to former President Jimmy Carter, who died just before the end of 2024.
Now, I wanna go out on a limb here and say
he's just a big baby.
Not only is he just a big baby, it's kind of been tradition in past when presidents have passed away to continue the mourning period through inauguration. This is some next level egotism, dude. You are not better than a dead man. And it's honestly one of the more disrespectful things that he's done. And he's done a lot. So, death penalty?
I want to see if there were any. Well, it marks departure with the tradition. President Nixon was inaugurated in 1973. The flags at the Capitol building were flown at half staff in honor of former President Harry Truman, who died on December 26th. So Trump's just a big baby, because in the past, they're just like, no, we'll fly him at half staff because the president died.
Yeah. And look, the thing about it is you have 4 years for that motherfucker to be at full staff. Give the man 30 days.
He's 78. Nothing's going to be at full staff for him.
That brings us to this episode's sponsor, Blue Chew. No, I'm kidding.
God, I wish. That'd be awesome. Send me a sample. Like, I'm good, but like, I want to be real good.
Oh my god. Oh god, that was good.
All right. You want to hit death penalty?
Oh, I have. So should I start this with the life in prison to 37?
Yeah, man.
Biden gives life in prison to 37 of 40 federal death row inmates before Trump can resume executions. President Joe Biden on Monday announced that he is commuting the sentences of 37 of 40 people on the federal death row, converting their punishments to life imprisonment just weeks before President-elect Donald Trump, an outspoken proponent of expanding capital punishment, takes office. The move spares the lives of people convicted in killings, including the slayings of police and military officers, people on federal land, and those involved in deadly bank robberies or drug deals, as well as the killings of guards or prisoners in federal facilities. The decision leaves 3 federal inmates to face execution. They are Dylan Roof, who carried out the 2015 racist slaying of 9 black members of Mother Emanuel. In Charleston, South Carolina, 2013 Boston Marathon bomber, I've never known how to pronounce his name, Sarknev, and Robert Bowers, who fatally shot 11 congregants at Pittsburgh Tree of Life Synagogue in 2018, the deadliest anti-Semitic attack in U.S. history. 3 really big ones to leave off. Not gonna lie, kudos, Joe. And Trump. Well, let's see. Executive order restoring the death penalty and protecting public safety. By the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, it is hereby ordered. Capital punishment is an essential tool for deterring and punishing those who would commit the most heinous crimes and acts of lethal violence against American citizens. Before, during, and after the founding of the United States, our cities, states, and country have continuously relied upon capital punishment as the ultimate deterrent and only proper punishment for the vilest crimes. Our founders knew well that only capital punishment can bring justice and restore order in the response to such evil. For this and other reasons, capital punishment continues to enjoy broad popular support. Yet for too long, politicians and judges who oppose capital punishment have defied and subverted the laws of our country. At every turn, they seek to thwart the execution of lawfully imposed capital sentences and choose to enforce their personal beliefs rather than the law. When President Biden took office in 2021, he allowed his Department of Justice to issue a moratorium on federal executions in defiance of his duty to faithfully execute the laws of the United States that provide for capital punishment. And on December 23rd, 2024, President Biden commuted the sentences of 37 of 40 most vile, sadistic rapists, child molesters, and murderers on federal death row. We read all that anyways. These efforts to subvert and undermine capital punishment defy the laws of our nation, make a mockery of justice, and insult the victims of these horrible crimes. The government's most solemn responsibility is to protect its citizens from abhorrent acts, and my administration will not tolerate efforts to stymie and eviscerate the laws that authorize capital punishment against those who commit horrible acts of violence. It just keeps repeating itself. Here's the thing about the death sentence.
Sorry, give me just a minute. Allison got bit by the lizard.
Those of you who don't know, Caleb has a lizard. His name is Dr. Curtis Connors. Sometimes he turns into a human. It's not his real state, though. Okay. I don't want to talk about this too much without Caleb. So I'm going to go take a break.
I'm back.
Okay. I went and took a little restroom break because I didn't want to talk about this because I don't know that we have different opinions on this or not.
Are we talking about death row?
Death row. I have a very, very sticky relationship with death row. And here's why. There have been many stories that death row inmates that have already communicated their sentence and have passed on death row by lethal injection or what have you, whatever methods we're using at the time, when their cases were reopened as cold cases or researched cases, were proven innocent. Mm-hmm. And when you talk to leftists or more likely liberals about death row, they tell you no immediately because of these things. And then I have another one where fungibly it doesn't make any sense because a lot of the times these people live 30 years on death row. And since they're on death row, they're in separate prisons. And they're super high security prisons. And there's maybe there's 100 of them. Sometimes there's 12, but the entire building has to be staffed.
Yeah.
And so it's a waste of money to keep these people alive just to be killed.
Yes.
But here's where I agree with death row, and it's very, very sticky because without a doubt these things have to be proven in order for me to agree for those people to be there.
Okay.
Obviously, murder up to, and I'm not talking about manslaughter. I'm not talking about like a passion killing. I'm talking about like your serial killers, your John Wayne Gacy's, your Ted Bundy's, your vile human beings that did it just for the love of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Child predators and rapists. It's the only time where I see it applicable. And it's the only time where it's executed. But murderers get put on death row in red states just for the love of the game.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is just a manslaughter case. Sometimes it is just a passion killing. Sometimes it's like there's so many circumstances, and I'm not justifying their actions. But you can tell when somebody is riddled with guilt already, and keeping them alive is more of a punishment than murdering them. And let's not sugarcoat it. The United States government murders people who murder people.
Mm-hmm.
It is not death row. It is not an execution. It is a murder. Let's be very clear about the fact that your government thinks that it can do things that you cannot. And that is where my problem lies. Because do I think that some people should be on death row? Absolutely. Do I think death row should exist? 9 times out of 10, no.
I agree.
However, here's where it doesn't get sticky at all. Like at all.
Mm-hmm.
This executive order reinstating death row is not for the betterment of your people. It is a threat not to act up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Plain and simple. I don't think there's a better way to word that. It is a threat not to act up. Don't do that. We have this again.
Yeah, basically.
I
don't disagree.
And I don't really have much more to say on it. I mean, we could go into how other countries, much better countries than ours, have a rehabilitation prison system as opposed to a punishment prison system, and how low their crime rates are, and how, if you follow psychology at all, you know that capital punishment doesn't work on children, so why would it work on adults? There's a bunch of nuance here that the average Joe doesn't care about. And so this is going to go swimmingly. A lot of your red states are going to eat this shit up. A lot of your pedo hunters or anti-pedo guys that are super red-pilled up on TikTok and Twitter and kill all pedophiles are going to be super on board with this. And you know what? Get your bread, dude. I'm not going to tell you no, but I want you to know that our Constitution was written for us to rewrite it ourselves. And when people of power who are already threatening to abolish the government as you know it are putting things in like, hey, we can execute you again, it's not for the betterment of you, and it's not for the betterment of our people. It's a deterrent from you acting up in any way, shape, or form that is anti him.
Yeah. Pretty much. I'm not disagreeing with you.
You have anything to say on that one?
No, you summed up my thoughts pretty well.
You want to get the next one?
Number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Donald Trump directed the Attorney General to take all necessary and lawful action to supply states with the adequate amount of the drug to carry out lethal injections.
I have one thing to say on this, and this is kind of a silly, like liberal brain kind of thing. Doctors still don't know what happens to you during this drug because it just turns everything off. It's supposed to be the most humane way to put somebody down.
More or less. It's more effective than lethal, than like electrocution.
Right, yes.
But I mean, if you have a firing squad, I feel like that's going to be more effective. Like, is that crazy to say?
Right.
Because typically, there are 3 drugs that are used in a lethal injection cocktail. There's midazolam, which is sedation.
Right. And that's what I'm talking about. Sedation, we don't know what happens post-sedation. Because you could be in excruciating pain for God knows how long, but you're just dead.
I don't think that's likely, because then there's Pavulon is the brand name. It's some kind of bromide. I can't remember what type. That's used to cause muscle paralysis and decrease neural transmission to the lungs. And then there's potassium chloride, which is used to stop your heart.
Right.
So potassium, as we know, is an electrolyte. So when potassium levels in your blood are insufficient, so you have like hypokalemia, then you get prescribed potassium. Typically, it's given orally, which is the safest route, and it can be given intravenously. But there are very, very specific rules. So typically, like a normal therapeutic dose of potassium is 10 to 20 milliequivalents. The unit of measurement, it's an arbitrary amount of another substance given in a given chemical reaction. But in potassium chloride for lethal injections, you are given 10 times that amount. You're given 100 milliequivalents. Some people also do sodium thiopental, which is another barbiturate. It's another sedation drug other than midazolam. It just does the same thing, just differently. And there's also people also do like hydromorphone, do fentanyl. Is a type of fentanyl. Its parent drug is fentanyl, and it's actually 5 to 10 times more effective and more potent than fentanyl.
Right.
And you're given micrograms of it. Not even milligrams, micrograms. Given less than half of a milligram of it. But then, like for sodium thiopental, it's like you get like 5 grams. I don't know. We don't need to get into the specifics of what is and isn't in a death row injection. But
so
the district attorney.
Cool about Caleb and I. He knows a lot about drugs, and I do not. Pharmaceutical drugs, of course.
I just paid attention in class. I have a degree.
I have a degree too. I did not take a chemistry class.
I took a few.
I took we'll save this for next week. But anyways, he knows a lot about the chemical makings of the body, and
science and the body.
And I know a lot about physical science. So we're like we have one brain.
That's really funny, given what my degree is in.
You want to tell him?
It's physics. I have an associate's degree in physics. So him saying physical science is very funny.
Yeah. So, anyways, on to the next topic.
You take number 3. I don't even want to.
No, I have a lot to say about this one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you want to? Okay. Uh, the next order of business for Donald J. Trump was direct the Attorney General to seek reversals of U.S. Supreme Court precedents that limit application of the death penalty in state and federal jurisdictions.
No more precedents. We hate them.
Dude, okay. This isn't out of left field, but the fact that this was so important to him that it came up in the first 6 days, not the first 180 days, not the first year, like the first 6 days, that this was so important to him that we must be able to murder as many people as we want it's insane. It's insane. And I'm reminded of the fact that he instated court members that would overturn Roe v. Wade, and here we are.
Yeah.
Presidents just don't matter anymore.
No.
We just have, you can vote in whoever you want, but the courts decide.
That's right.
We're getting real silly with it.
And dude, you went about getting real silly with it. He also directed the Attorney General to encourage state attorneys general and district attorneys to pursue the death penalty in every case that it can be tried in. Every case.
Yeah.
He's like, kill them all.
Which means
that's how you lower the cost of living. You just make less people.
So I don't know how our eventually viewers will see this, in which state they will be viewing it in, but we stay in Texas, which means that death penalty is like water here. And dude, good luck getting your.
No, there's only one felony that is applicable for the death penalty in the state of Texas.
I want you to read what we just read and then say that that's going to be true in like 90 days.
I'm talking about right now, January 26th,
right
2025.
Yes, yeah. That's fair. That's
the
fair.
The only felony that is eligible for the death penalty in the state of Texas is capital murder. So in the state of New York, this is like murder 1. So it's the murder of a police officer or fireman while acting in an official capacity, intentionally taking a life in the course of another felony, such as like kidnapping, burglary, or aggravated sexual assault, murder for hire, murder committed during a prison escape, any killing by an offender who is already serving life sentence, the murder of a child that's less than 15, murdering a judge in retaliation, and multiple killings in a single act or a series of related acts. There are like other types of murder, which is like there's like murder, which is like a sudden passion rather than premeditation, manslaughter, or criminally negligent homicide. These are all other, these are lesser types of criminal homicide in the Texas Penal Code that you do not get. It's not a capital offense. But that's it. That's the only one in Texas.
That
for
feels
now.
Wrong. I know that that's correct, but that doesn't feel right. Like I remember watching the news and that just not being correct.
Well, this is from it's section 1903. Which when was that passed? Let me see. Oh, September 2023. That's specifically capital murder.
Yeah. Is that right? I feel like that's...
That is... I'm trying to find out when that would change. But it's the second most populous state in the union to commit capital offenses. I know that.
Yeah.
Guess who's higher?
Than Texas?
Yeah. Per capita.
Ooh.
There's one state.
Just because I hate them, is it Oklahoma?
It is Oklahoma. It is Oklahoma.
Oh, that's good. I'm clicking
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it is Oklahoma.
Oh, that makes so much sense, though. I mean, realistically.
Yeah.
Oh God. The last electrocution was in Harris County, in Texas, was in Harris County
Mm-hmm.
in 1964.
Mm-hmm. They don't really do electrocution anymore. But since 1976, which is when capital punishment was resumed, it didn't happen. It was allowed in 1976, but didn't happen until 1982. So far, we have executed 591 offenders, which is more than a third of the national total. But per capita, Oklahoma is still fucking us.
More than a third in one state.
Yeah.
Anyways,
They were the first to adopt lethal injection.
I bet
Oklahoma
we
was.
fucking were.
No, Oklahoma was.
Oh, Oklahoma was?
Yeah.
Oh man, they were ready to get back on that wagon.
Yeah, man.
Jesus. Jan 6. Dude. I'm so
Dude.
amped.
Hold on. Oklahoma is more accepting of the death penalty.
Yeah.
It's a defendant was previously convicted of felony involving use or threat of violence to the person. The defendant not only created a great risk of death to more than one person, the person committed the murder for remuneration or the promise of remuneration, or employed another to commit the murder of for the promise of remuneration, which is like murder for hire.
Hold on, I have to show you something really, really funny. I'm so
Yeah.
So John just texted me a video on TikTok, and he said, "I had to send this to you because I'm becoming an Ultron main as soon as he drops." And then the next message is, "Also, why the fuck did iPhone autocorrect to ultra nationalist instantly when I tried to spell Ultron?"
Really funny because now we're talking about January 6th. So we'll breeze
speaking
through
of
these.
Ultron, Jan 6.
We'll breeze through these because we're at over 2.5 hours already.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of hit these pretty quick. Commuted the sentences and granted full pardons to everyone involved. We don't care what we previously said. We don't care if we said they were criminals. What they did is good and cool. And I think it's over 1,500 people are now like free to go.
1,500 people
you're good.
with
Patriot
more
Front, you're
than-
fine.
1,500 people were excommunicated of their sentences, while 400 of them were violent offenders by attacking or killing somebody in the Capitol or police officers.
Yep. So this section I titled January 6th and then 2020 election redux. So we're kind of grouping them a bit. So January 6th sentences, you're fine. With what sentences? You don't have any. You're not a criminal.
Yep.
So we also ordered the Attorney General and others to review every agency of the government, its initiative, investigative, and enforcement actions during Biden's tenure to identify what Trump has deemed weaponization of the federal government against his supporters. So we are specifically identifying the Justice Department, the Federal Trade Commission, the Security and Exchanges Commission, and the intelligence community. And it requires a report to the president on what the findings and recommended remedial actions. She's like, my supporters were demonized, and that is not okay.
Which is funny because there's a video floating around of a montage of Trump condemning the actions of the January 6ers, saying that that was wrong and that they shouldn't have done it and that they were heinous, awful people. Absolutely hilarious.
Pretty great. We have also directed the Attorney General to investigate U.S. government dealings with social media platforms during Biden's tenure and make recommendations for appropriate remedial actions in response to what Trump frames as censorship efforts. We're not going to talk about how Zuckerfucker and Elon and Jeff Bezos and all them buddies are just gobbling Trump's nuts. That doesn't matter. Oh, he's on the phone. I'm just going to keep talking. That doesn't matter. And so Biden's son Hunter, the GOAT, the greatest to ever do it, his laptop was leaked. Pretty crazy. And so there was a collective public statement made by 50 people that accuse, and so I'm not even going to get into their public statement, but Trump accused these 50 people of aiding Biden's 2021 campaign with their collective statement about Hunter Biden's laptop. And so Trump's just like, what security clearance? You don't have one anymore. We don't need it. You don't need it. It's fine. What security clearance? It's gone. It's revoked. And so that includes like James Clapper, Michael Hayden, Leon Panetta, which are all like high up in the intelligence community. And Trump's own former national security advisor, John Bolton, his security clearance gone. Because for fun, love of the game, I guess. And then last topic, we directed the director of national intelligence and the CIA director to submit a report within 90 days with recommendations for additional disciplinary action and how to, quote, prevent the intelligence community or anyone who works for or within it from inappropriately influencing domestic elections. Because that very much happened totally in 2020. It was definitely the CIA and the intelligence community that made Trump lose, and they cheated.
Sorry, what did I miss? I'm so sorry. Maggie called.
Oh no, that's I read them all.
You read them all? Oh geez. Okay.
Any points you want to hit? Oh, I did talk about our GOAT.
Okay, cool. Honestly, no. If this is the first 6 days,
I'm not looking forward to it.
I'm not looking forward to it. I do want to plan one for the 180-day mark just to see where everything's sitting at.
I'm down.
And then
obviously
we'll pencil it in, and then obviously we'll do this again when more information drops. This has been, dude. I mean, 3 hours. I saw us hitting the 3 hour mark, but my God.
Oh yeah, we could have, but I intentionally sped us through because I still have to run to the pharmacy.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's going to be all from the Cousin Brothers podcast. We will talk to y'all again next week.
Probably later. Bye.